Hello, Kadi here. Today we are going to go over our witch leveling guide. This is a zero ascendancy leveling guide designed for Phrecia so that you can get your witch through the campaign for whatever build you want to get it done on. This guy absolutely flew through the campaign. We're using Holy Flame Totems almost universally, and it's incredibly powerful, good tankiness, good speed, good clear, good boss damage. Very pleased with it. Let's take a look at some highlights from the campaign. Starting off, as you get in town, get your items from Hillock. You're looking for items, especially wands and scepters that have cold damage to spells. That's a very powerful node. And we're not going to be able to use this wand with this scepter because we can't dual wield wands and scepters in POE 1. And we still need 2 blue links. So we're going to look for something that is either 2 blue links or 3 blue links. 2 blues and a green is good. That's a good start. We'll go ahead and pick that up. And then we'll move this over here. Now, we are using Rolling Magma out the gate, but we'll be switching to Holy Flame Totem as soon as possible. If you want to use a shield, get a shield or equip a shield that you got. If you don't have a chain belt and you can afford one, buy one from Nessa over there, because if you have energy shield, you have a 50% chance to avoid stuns, and that's really, really good for Roas. And so that'll get you off into a good start. And so again, keep an eye out for any scepters that have added cold damage to spells. This is not added cold damage to spells. This is for melee. It's got to be added damage to spells. So anything that's added damage to spells is very, very good. Or plus level of spells. Either one of those works. Get him, Flame Totem. Show him who's boss. Oh, hoping for better. Alright. We are now in the upper prison with a 3-link. We've got Flame Wall and Arcane Surge. Volley support's not doing anything. Flame Wall and Arcane Surge. But a 3-link Holy Flame Totem, Arcane Surge, and Infused Channeling. Make sure you're casting Flame Walls both to buff the damage from Arcane Surge with the projectiles passing through them, but also to trigger your Arcane Surge. You want to both trigger your Arcane Surge and buff the Holy Flame Totem projectiles. Outside of that, we just got a bunch of generic gear. Our passive tree is moving up just as the POB says. We are at Mervale, and thanks to the breaches, we overleveled a little bit. Got to sneak over and grab Elemental Overload, along with Cruel Preparation and Firewalker, so we are in a good position for the boss. Picked up a couple of really good wands that are really helping to scale our damage. The rest of our gear is kind of mediocre, but we did get some move speed boots, and so that is a help. The tree does provide, though. Now, on our link for Holy Flame Totem, we are running Combustion Support and Infused Channeling right now. Arcane Surge is technically better, but I get tired of trying to keep it up all the time. So, we are going to just drop our Holy Flame Totem here. Don't forget, you can Esh-Graft with this Wreathed in Light. Stand in the Radiant Ground with your totem, and your totem will do a lot more damage. Poor little Mervale, just a melting over here. The Radiant Ground from Wreathed in Light does give us bonus lightning damage, but more specifically, it does make our damage lucky, which is a tremendous bonus to our total damage on the build. Not bad for one lonely little Holy Flame Totem. We are now at the end of Act 2. Our passive tree looks like this. We're moving up. We grabbed Ancestral Bond and Primal Manifestation. We're moving up to Explosive Impact and Purity of Flesh. Once we connect this tree, we can get these 2 skill points back, and then we'll continue moving down the tree. As far as our items go, we did switch over to a shield instead of dual-wielding wands, because shield charge is much better mobility. All of the rest of our gear is relatively the same. Elemental Focus, Infused Channeling, and Holy Flame Totem on our totem. We are still carrying a firewall, but this is just to increase the damage of Holy Flame Totem. It doesn't do any damage to enemies. And then, of course, Wreathed in Light for the Radiant Ground bonus to damage. So all you do is you drop your totems, put a flame wall down, let them kill stuff, play the dodgy game. Just a hint, if you don't know how many totems you have up, it's always a buff in the top left side of your screen if there's too much stuff on the screen for you to be paying attention to what's out there. Act 3 next. As we go into the Dominus fight, you should have as close to Divine Judgment as you can get, and then moving towards Divine Fury. That'll depend on how overleveled you are. The Breach campaign is obviously giving us a ton of levels. We did link Flame Wall with Spell Cascade and Arcane Surge. Make sure you do spam Flame Wall a little bit to get your Arcane Surge buff. This just gives you some increased cast speed, which triggers your totems to channel faster. Our 4-link is Elemental Focus, Infused Channeling, Holy Flame Totem, and added cold damage because Chromatic Orbs can be a bitch. But this would obviously ideally be Controlled Destruction here. Peasy.
No one will cry for you.
As far as our gear goes, we got a little bit of a wand upgrade, same shield, a little bit of a hell upgrade, a little bit of body armor upgrade. You do need stats, so get a dex amulet, get a strength belt. Those will be necessary. We did not mule off momentum, but if you mule momentum, obviously your shield charge will be even faster. We just got lucky and grabbed a faster attacks drop, so I ended up not muling off momentum anyway. Rings, you're just looking again for resistances, life, things like that. And dust toe boots are actually very nice if you can get a hold of a pair. Greed giveth. We got 2 5-link bodies. One of them colored appropriately, which is very nice. And maybe an upgrade? No. Probably not an upgrade. Definitely not. No good wands. But the 5-link colored appropriately is a huge damage increase for us. Get Controlled Destruction now. We would prefer that last link to be added fire damage, which is 2 reds. But that's a little big of an ask out of the tree to spit out for us. So we'll just have to get a different 5th link for it.
Make life complicated. Yes.
But Controlled Destruction is a solid one. And then faster casting is a good substitute. Back to the leveling. Now, if you can, shift your tree over to get an armor energy shield body armor, which will be much easier for us to color. Now, we would like to drop Elemental Focus so that we can shift over to 100% increase damage with hits against ignited enemies. In order to do that, you need at least 2 reds on this body armor, and preferably 3 reds at some point, because we're going to want to put multiple totems on as well as fire penetration. So we'll stay with the 2 reds for now. We'll lose Elemental Focus. And then in our last link, we'll add fire penetration. Now we are at the end of the act. Just a recap over our passive tree, up to Cruel Preparation, Mental Rapidity, Elemental Overload. We did switch over to Fire Mastery. We are far enough progressed to use multiple totems instead of Fire Pin, but we would like to drop Controlled Destruction support. Yeah, I think we dropped Controlled Destruction support for Fire Pin once we can recolor our chest. Obviously, Purity of Flesh, Ancestral Bond, Primal Manifestation with Totem Mastery for increased crit chance, Sovereignty so that we can run Anger alongside Purity and Clarity. I need to turn Anger on, Divine Judgment, and Divine Fury. That is how we are set up. Don't have enough mana yet to run the level of Clarity that we have, so we'll need to get a little bit lower level Clarity. Let's kill Malachi. Go down your hole. Your phase.
Let us see if you truly understand what it means to be Nightmare. Accept the gift of immortality. Accept the gift of immortality.
Malachi dead. Act 5. This is just a reminder. I fell into the age-old habit of not following my own build guides. This is supposed to be fizz damage converted to fire, not increased damage against ignited enemies. We'll be taking that up here later on, but full converting to fire, or 90% converting to fire, is far more important. Alright, we are at the end of Act 5, about to fight Kitava. Quick refresh of our passive tree, and we kind of move things around to be more appropriate with what the build guide says. We are a little over leveled relative to the build guide, but that is one of the upsides slash downsides of being a totem build, especially in Breach League. Totems, you just drop and go. They kill everything. You get so much XP, and then Breach kind of compounds that. So we'll always be a little over leveled for our area. Like I said, it's not a big deal, but you might need to skip ahead in the passive tree if you are also over leveled. As far as our items go, we did get a 3 red link, 5 link on our body armor. Give us multiple totems, fire penetration, along with Holy Flame Totem, faster casting, and infused channeling. We picked up Summon Lightning Golem for the additional mana regeneration and cast speed. Frostblink for movement, still running Herald of Purity and Anger, as well as Clarity on Arrogance. Shield Charge with faster attacks and momentum for additional mobility. Sniper's Mark self-cast for damage, and Spell Cascade, Flame Wall, and Arcane Surge support, so that we can trigger Arcane Surge. Make sure that your Arcane Surge stays level 1, so that you have full uptime on your Arcane Surge goodness. As you can see, poor Kitava just melties. Didn't even get a chance to get our Sniper's Mark up. Face tank that slam. And GG Katana. Act 6. We are now at the end of Act 6, with our passive tree looking as thus. Our gear is mostly unchanged. A small upgrade to our helmet, small upgrade to our belt and our boots. Same shield, same wand as forever. Similar rings, same amulet. We'd really like to upgrade these pieces, but the game has not been favorable. We would also like to change this over to an armor energy shield gloves, but getting a red and 2 greens on armor ES gloves is a little sketchy, and so we need a lot more chromes for that to happen. So we're kind of stuck with this for our mobility for right now. But let's go kill us a Brine King.
So courageous. Such a fine example of woman.
If your little lightning golem dies, just resummon him again. He's really only there for the quality of life of the extra cast speed, but mainly the mana regeneration, so we don't have to hit our mana flask. No one likes flasks. As far as damage goes, build blasts. So much damage. Very, very comfy. Survivability is solid. Of course, the totems just being a distraction is such a phenomenal defense in and of itself. With infused channeling, they're much tankier than most totems, which is very nice. On to Act 7. The end of Act 7 leaves us with a passive tree looking like this. We did take a little bit more armor and energy shield here that's not part of the original POB, but I just wanted a little bit more defenses. You're welcome to do that, especially when you're over-leveled. Gear is identical to what it has been the last few times we looked at this, so no changes there. Same with all of our skill links. No changes here on any of our skill links. Just moved it around a little bit on the gear itself. Go ahead and kill our Kali. Make sure you do get a sniper's mark on her, and keep your arcane surge up, and she'll just melt away. Alright, Arcali, go get your little peasant that you gotta eat. Or wise, I don't even know who that is. GG, Arcali. Alright, tree. Time to hook us up.
Yes, just like that.
Not a one. Not a single 6-link. Badge. Got 2 more shots.
She will soon bear fruit.
Hell fucking yeah. It's an astral plate though. That could be tough to color. We'll see. Come on. Astral plate. Color. Nope. 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 Oh, it didn't color. Can't use it yet. A real quick vendor recipe. You can vendor recipe transmutes up to Augs. Augs up to Jewelers. And then Jewelers up to Chromes.
Watch yourself.
So especially in an FFF SSF situation, it's very handy. Now we'll try coloring this again. We need 2 blues.
That would just make life
I don't think we're hitting it naturally. So we can take a gamble on our bench and hope that it doesn't hit to green or hit a green. Hey, and we're safe. Burn through most of our little currencies to get there, but that gives us a 6th link. And then added fire damage would be our ideal 6th link
That
here.
would just make life complicated.
Yes?
Doesn't look like which comes by naturally. So we'll need to take a lower level one off of Lily for now, and we'll just level it up as we go. Back to the campaign. Right, we are up at the end of Act 8. 8? Yeah. And I'm just going to showcase our layered defenses now. We have a high block shield that we finally got, which you should strive for early on. That with Divine Shield gives us a tremendous amount of defenses. We have a ton of armor because we're utilizing our armor and energy shield mastery. We have a decent armor piece, and so physical damage is going to recoup our ES for all of the physical damage prevented. And then our armor and our shield are going to do a good job at preventing that damage, allowing us to get that ES regeneration going. Now, as far as our passive tree goes, we're pretty much exactly like the guide has listed. I did, like I said, take Faith and Steel and Armor and Energy Shield Mastery because my gear was very lacking and I needed some extra defenses. But Divine Shield is absolutely part of the build and is very, very strong. You're going to generally want to look for armor and ES gear. All of our links are the same. We did add added fire damage onto our Holy Flame Totem here. And so that is a nice little chunk of damage that we get from our 6th link. Thank you, Woundgraft Tree. And the end of Act 8. We'll go ahead and run through Blood Aqueducts real quick so you can see how it does in mapping. So playstyle is pretty straightforward. You're just going to shield dash and then drop Flame Wall and then drop 2 sets of totems. That's pretty much your entire rotation. Flame Wall will activate Arcane Surge, giving a huge bonus to cast speed. Cast speed will increase the damage of the channeled effect on Holy Flame Totem because Holy Flame Totem channels a spell. If you Frostblink periodically and mark periodically, you'll also get the increased cast speed from your caster mastery. You only have to Frostblink and or Sniper's Mark once every 8 seconds to maximize that additional 12% cast speed that you can get from both of those effects. As you can see, survivability is very strong. As you get more and more physical damage reduction, that Divine Shield recovery becomes very good.
I need more mana.
And we don't have the Herald of Purity or Anger active for some reason, so we are missing like 30% of our DPS right now. Those are back online though. Act 9. And on to Trinity. Our passive tree looking very solid, just like POB. Our gear, we did manage to craft this wand with alchemy orbs and scours, and that was a huge upgrade for us. A lot of flat damage, increased spell damage, cast speed, very, very solid. Got a block shield. We did color our linked armor here. We got new gloves as well, and everything else is pretty much the same. Still faster casting, infused channeling, multiple totems, fire pin, holy flame totem, and added fire damage on our main link here. Survivability has been good, damage has been phenomenal. We're using this innervating graft, which just saps everything, so it's a defensive tool. I'm not really using it because we needed the defensive tool, but rather we're using it because I wanted the increased drop chance of provision womb grafts, because we needed to make upgrades to our gear. The best way to do that is with the tree and provision womb grafts. Bye, Trin. Nice knowing you, sir. We are finally at the end of our road here in the campaign. Give you an idea of what our passive tree looks like right now. As far as items go, the wand we crafted a while ago, we still have. We got enough defenses that I was able to switch over to this more offensive shield, which gives us a huge boost to our damage. Our rings are still uber poopy, along with our amulet. I've had this since level 13, and both these rings since 20 and 30, as well as our belt since 20. But that's how campaign goes sometimes. Character itself feels great, so we'll go ahead and gut ourselves a katana here. Very solid damage, and obviously the complete passivity of totems makes the gameplay really straightforward.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Get him, Sin. Show him who's boss. GG. All right, exiles, the showcase is over. Let's go over details and the POB. But remember, if you enjoy my builds, like, subscribe, give a comment down below about your favorite part of the build. The engagement is what lets us continue to drop builds every season. Thank you all. Now, for items, you're really looking for armor, ES items, and wands that have flat damage, cast speed, spell damage, or fire damage on them. I'll throw in just a generic wand in here. You want a spell damage wand or a flat damage wand. Either one of those works. I ran this Demon's Horn at the end of it. Ideally, you would want spell damage on this Demon Horn, although crafted spell damage is fine. So, something like this. Crafted spell damage, flat damage, cast speed, ideal wand for leveling through the campaign. For your shield, I mean, ideally, you would want a shield that is an ES base preferably an ES base that has spell damage tied to it. And then you want spell damage, chance to block, life, and then resistances on the shield. That would be the ideal shield. The rest of your gear, just armor, ES, resistances, and life. That's all you're looking for. Armor, ES, resistances, and life. For our skills, we have everything set Act 1 through Act 10. Act 1, we're going to roll with whatever spell you want. Fireball, Rolling Magma, Purifying Flame. It doesn't matter what it is. You get Holy Flame Totem at like level 8. And then you're full on Holy Flame Totem for the rest of the game. Holy Flame Totem with Flame Wall. Flame Wall gets Cascade and Arcane Surge. Make sure your Arcane Surge is level 1 always. Always level 1 Arcane Surge. So as soon as you Flame Wall, you gain the Arcane Surge buff. That gives you cast speed. Cast speed makes your Holy Flame Totem cast faster. It also gives you more mana regeneration, which you will need. Clarity, you're going to run Clarity as high as you need. Act 2, full on Holy Flame Totem with Flame Wall. We add in Herald of Purity. Act 3, we add in Anger with Herald of Purity. Clarity becomes Arrogance right here. And then Act 4, you'll continue on this route. Clarity with Arrogance. Not a lot of change in your gear. You do get a Golem, so we add our Golem in. Holy Flame Totem gets multiple totems along with infused channeling and faster casting in Act 4. In Act 5, you should be able... Divine Blessing. I don't know how that got on there. So you should be able to get access to fast casting, infused channeling, fire pin, added fire damage. Yeah, so this is fire pin support right now. Sorry about that. You should get access to a 5-link around here in this campaign because of the womb tree. You're going to add in fire penetration. We already had fire penetration on there. Oh, infused channeling. It's supposed to be infused channeling. Fire penetration is what you would add on here. And clarity, again, arrogance or low-level clarity, you're going to have access to in Act 5, moving towards sovereignty. And so that can free up your arrogance by allowing you to clarity with sovereignty. Herald of Purity and Anger, Summon, Lightning Golem. Act 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are all the same. There's no changes from here on out. All of your skills are going to be exactly the same. You're just going to get a better and better passive tree. Now, as far as your passive tree goes, Act 1, you're going to move all the way up to Cruel Preparation. For Act 2, you're going to move over and take Elemental Overload and Ancestral Bond. Act 3, you're going to move down through Explosive Impact and Purity of Flesh. Once you make this connection, you can take these 2 points back and you can spec them elsewhere. Act 4, we're going to move down and take Elemental Mastery with Divine Judgment. Act 5, we're going to pick up Mental Rapidity here. Act 6, we're going to go ahead and start looking at adding in masteries and mana mastery. Sovereignty allows you to have a higher level clarity reserved alongside a Herald of Purity and Anger. Act 7, we're going to move up and take Heart of Flame and Critical Strikes. Do not ignite. Instead, 100% increased damage with hits against ignited enemies. And then Act 8, we're going to continue moving down here and take some more defenses. And then so on and so forth with the trees. Act 9 will be more defenses and a little bit more offense in here. And then, of course, Act 10, we're just going to finish this out and take the rest of these nodes around the Templar start area. And so this will get you all the way through the campaign. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give this a solid 9. It's fast. It does great single target, great clear. Doesn't require a lot of buttons. Is relatively tanky. Use a block armor ES shield until you get the rest of your tanky kit together. During this campaign run that you just saw, I struggled a lot with getting any items at all whatsoever through most of the campaign. So I did use a block ES armor shield for a very, very long time as a result of that. But all in all, it went very well. If you have any questions over the leveling guide, let me know. Drop a comment down below. Come by Twitch. I'm happy to answer questions. Just a reminder, this was no ascendancy on the run, so we didn't have any ascendancy nodes because this is a leveling guide for Phrecia, and you'll just, whatever ascendancy you want to use, take nodes that are useful to you to help you get through the campaign. But as you can saw, It doesn't need anything. Thank y'all very much for watching. Peace.